The last place I wanted to be was Frostnipistan.
This one's wife. The joys of jam. This one's wife has actually provided a product from her American Riviera orchard range. Some strawberry jam. Somewhat underwhelming, of course, but let's find out what a more upmarket newspaper thinks about it, and what the readers think about this latest development in the empire that is supposedly the brand lifestyle American Riviera orchard, and how this would impact upon a narcissist. Harriet Walker writes in the Times, "You can just imagine the marketing meeting, vibe sesh, for how best to spread the word about the first product release from the Duchess of Sussex's new California lifestyle range, American Riviera Orchard retirement homes. How about a seeding exercise among a few well-considered taste makers?" That's right. The best idea some elite West Coast creative squad tasked with masterminding the most eagerly awaited celebrity launch of the year, decade, could come up with was a jar of strawberry jam. Forget what you thought you knew about finding a gap in the market or making yourself heard in a crowded room. The Monty Shit Show chapter knows the whole world is already listening. The American Riviera Orchard Instagram page has amassed 500,000 followers in little under a month. Pausing there, remember the caveat about bought individuals, and actually that's rather underwhelming given the level of prominence this woman has. Try to conserve your energy, but there's a new bon maman in town, although as we know from her hit podcast series, the Duchess doesn't believe in being constrained by archetypes. That's lucky, because when it comes to strawberry jam, there are plenty out there. It's either hubris or else very weird strategy, says Mark Bukowski, the PR guru and author of the Fame Formula. What's in it? What does it taste like? There's no story there. Nothing on the back, just a label, and even that looks like it's peeling off. You'll notice that Mark Bukowski echoes the sentiments that my own PR expert has explained in my earlier video. The fashion designer, Tracy Robbins, received a pot, as did the Argentinian it girl, Delfina Blaquier. Robin's husband, Brian, happens to be the president of Paramount Pictures, while Blaquier is married to the polo world's equivalent to David Beckham, Nacho Figueres, whose Gilded Realm Prince Harry's latest Netflix project will cover. Both posted gushing messages of thanks. Allyship, with their jars posed atop the sort of veined marble countertops that often belong to a wealth bracket that no longer eats carbs. As with the most sought-after artworks, each carefully curated, linen-clad screw top has been marked with a handwritten batch number out of 50. That might remind the keen-eyed of the $250 Celebrity Hive jars of honey sold by that other archetype-busting ultra-luxe California lifestyle operation, Flamingo Estate. Yet the whole thing may also seem familiar from your most recent trip to Waitrose. However, where a jar of Dutchy Originals organic strawberry will set you back £2.80. It's a clear karaoke of what her father-in-law has been doing for a couple of decades with great success, but with far less authenticity. Bukowski continues, "Do we really think this one's wife has been stirring the jam pan herself?" In fairness, King Charles probably never wielded his own fruit thermometer either, yet a recent promotional video for American Riviera Orchard retirement homes, a name that is such a focus group word salad it has already been rejected as a Disneyland zone, does show the Duchess be aproned and in the kitchen, as well as swanning through a Monty Shit Show mansion in a strapless ball gown. Who's to say she hasn't had a hand in making it herself, now she and Harry find themselves at the bottom of the pectin order? After all, you could once buy Her Grace's strawberry jam at Chatsworth. Nobody ever believed Debo Mitford was personally slaving over a hot stove to fulfil orders. Unrelatedly, it has also been reported that this one's wife's new cookery show on Netflix will be filmed not in her own home, but at a different Monty Shit Show mansion that has been rented specifically. There are those who wondered whether this one's wife's brand would be more Goop Dupe or Martha Stewart. Suffice it to say, the latter already has the IP on a recipe called Basic Jam. Still, what do boiling fruit and celebrity PR exercises have in common? The most important thing is to make sure nothing sticks. So, not particularly complimentary set of observations there from the Times about this launch. But what are the observations that come below the line? Well, E. Darroch writes, "I'd like to launch her like a missile into outer space." Donald Herbert, "An awful lot of people owe Wallace a sincere apology." M. Birdman, "The real point. Californian strawberries are tasteless, huge, dry and woody. Nothing like a real strawberry. They grow them there on industrial farms for shipment all over the United States, sacrificing flavour and juice for transportability. About as genuine as this one's wife herself." David Parker, "Good grief. I'm sure this one's wife has as much insight about making preserves as Brooklyn Beckham does about being a chef. No doubt there'll be queues of California cougars willing to part with their husband's hard-earned money to share this with their inner circle. Clearly made by some unnamed producer who no doubt supplies the exact same stuff to Aldi or Trader Joe's at a fraction of the cost." Andrew Abel, "The woman is a joke. How long will it be before she ditches ginger just as she has with her own family?" G. Walker, "I do hope the plum jam has been thoroughly stoned. It would be so appropriate." Steve Robert, "Who would want to follow the lifestyle of moaning Meg?" David Roberts, "Why don't we all just pretend this one's wife doesn't exist?" Yvonne Payne, "This woman must be desperate. Did she imagine her activities would be reduced to strawberry jam when she ditched the royal family and set up shop in the United States?" Jay Harding, "I'm trying to think of the word. Insane? No, inane." D. Campbell, "Probably tastes a bit sour." Mr. R. Cass, "Runaway raspberry would surely have been a far more appropriate flavour for this latest effort by the Runaway Royals to continue their cynical efforts to commercially exploit the very royal titles they have so offensively disgraced." Thomas Hackett, "Releasing a strawberry jam seems pretty conservative." Trevor Crow, "The only woman in the world who could throw away a life of luxury, privilege and influence at the heart of the British government for a daytime show about a jar of strawberry jam." No favourable comments, either people saying please go away or taking the piss out of her jam exploits. All of this amounts to challenge fuel. Other than the PR puff pieces and the posts that have appeared on Instagram from those that she sent the jam to, so far only 3 out of the 50 having broken cover, there isn't much support for this endeavour. And this one's wife has not only launched it incorrectly, as I've already explained, as a consequence of her believing she always knows how to do everything and doesn't listen to advice, but the fact is she comes up against one solid, indisputable fact that's going to prove problematic for this brand. People just don't like her. She claims to be authentic. She isn't. She claims to be kind. She isn't. She thinks that she's talented. She is not. She has no charisma, no draw, no star power. She married a prince and fucked it all up. Now she's reduced to flogging strawberry jam and just invites ridicule. No matter what she does, the Sadeem touch makes its appearance, as whatever she touches turns to shit. And this is all hugely problematic for this narcissist who believes that she has a God-given right to succeed, that people should be buying her products by the boatload to make her wealthy. She has miscalculated, driven by her narcissism, failed to listen, failed to appreciate, failed to take soundings, and failed to deal with that one huge fact, which is not that many people like her. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.